What's up, y'all? It's my confession for the day. Over the years, I've come to realize that one of the biggest misconceptions with 2RawForTheStreets, especially among individuals outside of Philadelphia, out of state, actually, who were, in tune to 2RawForTheStreets or thought they was in tune to 2RawForTheStreets, is the misconception that Meek Mill was featured on 2RawForTheStreets. I guess, surprise, Meek actually never was featured on a 2RawForTheStreets, DVD. We crossed paths 100%, and we were definitely, supposed to link up. I'm not sure exactly. I actually remember one of the last days, or one of the only days that we had crossed paths. I'm sure Meek probably remembers this. I was dropping off DVDs. I forget. It wasn't a particular DVD. I was just dropping off DVDs at the record bar in South Philly. It may have been a new release, I believe, because there was a lot of people I remember waiting there at the store, for me to get there to drop off something, but I can't exactly remember which DVD it was. But I got there, I was dropping DVDs off at the record bar in South Philly, and I looked over my shoulder and I saw Meek standing there. I was 100% aware of who he was, because he was definitely burning it down, on, I believe at that time, Young Bob, my man, Young Bob Headshots was moving strong on the mixtape scene, and Meek was a major, part of that movement. So 100% I was fully aware of who he was, and definitely planned to link up with him. And I think at that day, I vividly remember, on my way out, we were standing face to face, and I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, you basically, yo, it's going down, you know what I'm saying? I already know what time it is, you know what I'm saying? You definitely, not next up, but, we definitely going to link, you know what I'm saying? We're going to, turn the camera on, we're going to get some footage. And had I known what I known, then, now what I know then or now, whatever, I should have just pulled the camera right out there on the spot, you know what I'm saying? Had a little cipher out front or whatever, got some bars and just kept it moving. But I plan to, I forget, we may have even exchanged information, but I definitely plan to double back and link up with him on his own turf, you know what I'm saying? Come and have a nice little classic session, you know what I'm saying? Let him do his thing. But I'm not sure exactly what was going on at the time, as far as me juggling so many different things and just being pulled in so many different directions. There was tons of artists that I definitely wanted to link up with, but it just wasn't enough hours in a day for me to cross paths with everyone that I wanted to. And then me thinking, okay, I have time. You know what I'm saying? We always think that we have time. Well, I got time to link up with him. I got time to do this, or I got time to do that. And, it just never happened. You know what I'm saying? So for everyone who thinks that, Meek Mill was one of the individuals that was birthed on the 2RawForTheStreets movement, and he was featured, he actually wasn't, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of my biggest, not a regret, but just something that I wish that I would have done, was being able to spend time with him, and do a lot of the things that I did with a lot of other MCs, with him as well. Not and it has nothing to do with who he is now, or what he had become, or what he's become, but just just for the simple fact that he was definitely worthy. You know what I'm saying? He was an artist amongst tons of others, hundreds of others that were definitely worthy of me sliding through the block, and and giving them some necessary, exposure that, the exposure that they were definitely worthy of, at the time. He was definitely unique, man, and he had a nice, crazy flow, a sound of his own, a little movement. It is what it is, man. So in the event, people always, now that I started the 2RawForTheStreets Instagram page and the YouTube channel, people always be in the comments or in the DM, oh, big homie, you need to bring it back. Those days are over. That chapter of my life is over. Who knows what the future may hold. I may, do a few little, cool things. But, me chasing people around with the camera, those days are over, man. I'm 43 years old, and that's just, a chapter of my life that's closed. But in the event that I ever pulled the camera back out and filmed anyone, it would definitely be Meek Mill, whether it was just for a sit-down interview, just to kind of reflect on the past, or just to make it official. Maybe Big Star and Meek Mill will link up sometime in the future, just to make it official, to say that, yes, officially Meek Mill was a part of the 2RawForTheStreets family. And then, yes, so when people say, yo, was Meek Mill ever on 2RawForTheStreets, I can in confidence for once say, yes, Meek Mill was definitely on 2RawForTheStreets. You know what I'm saying? Another individual of today, if I did ever pull the camera out, it would be Core. He definitely embodies that 2003 DVD flow. You know what I'm saying? When I hear him, I mean, he takes me back, and he reminds me of how we used to do it back in the day, man. So shout out to you, Corey, as well. Shout out to you, Meek, man. God willing, we can cross paths, man, and make this thing official, man. But yeah, for the record, Meek Mill was not ever featured on 2 Raw for the Streets, man. He would have been crazy on the battle tour. He would have been crazy, you know, hosting and tearing the DVDs up, man. But it didn't happen. But who knows? All right, that's my confession. Peace.